Number 188, George Cyclone.
Ready and action!
I was in Turkey when I got the script, and Simon really kind of just reached out to say, hey, you know, why don't you have a look at this and see if we're going in the right direction, because they were playing with it, you know, and as a result of that, you know, we had some ideas together, and what sounded right to me as I would read it in my head, you know, it's like a song, if those were notes I could hit or not hit. But I was already in. I would say yes to Simon to almost anything because I feel that he's one of the best directors I've ever worked with. He's a gentleman and he's an artist and he knows what he wants.
Simon West, our director, is very good at creating action sequences that are gritty and then give you 8 pages of dialogue and let the characters interact and express themselves and tell the story in words and also in action.
Well, that was one of my first thoughts when I was thinking about planning this movie, and we talked for a long time in prep about the style of stunts and the style of action, and I love to get the real actors involved as much as possible rather than just using stunt doubles, and that's great for me because I have the real person right there in the middle of the action, apparently in all this jeopardy, and it just makes the audience, you know, wake up and take notice because their star is right there.
I have been to prison, and I didn't like it. In fact, I fucking hated it. Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you shot me!
Simon really had an idea with this film that he didn't want to do any CGI or any digital replacement, that he wanted the audience to feel that these scenes were the real deal and that people were inside of these very wild, dangerous, you know, over-the-top stunt sequences. And my sense is that Nick likes to do them and loves to push himself as hard as he can that way, and I really do too.
When we talk about stunts, I say this with caution because I never want to tempt fate, but you know, I work well with fire. I'm not afraid of fire. So I'm able to get in there with it and work with it because I have respect for it, but I'm not afraid of it. I'm not an ace driver by any stretch of the imagination, but I've done it long enough now that I'm a good driver and I have an intuition for it. But I know how important it is for actors to do their stunts, especially with this kind of movie, because the audience really cares.
Part of my whole joy of this film, and the reason why I wanted to do it, was because anytime you get to work with an actor of Nick Cage's caliber, you jump at that opportunity. And the reality is there's only a few actors on earth who I put up in Nick's category. I mean, he's one of the true greats.
It's fun to watch him working. I've always been a fan of his work, but it's fun to watch him up close as he sort of, you know, takes a scene through his own filter. Like, wait a minute, how's my character gonna, like, I don't really know if this is something I'd say. I think I'm just gonna not say it. So, you know, it's been inspiring to watch him and a lot of fun.
Harlan thinks you're some kind of criminal mastermind.
Criminal mastermind?
Well, I will share this belief because criminal masterminds don't go away for 8-year jolts, or do they?
Will Montgomery is played by Nicolas Cage, and he's our hero in this film. He is the only one of us who gets caught and goes to jail. He goes to jail for 8 years and comes back out, and his daughter gets kidnapped and is struggling with, you know, not wanting to go back into bank robbing business, but he has to get the money to get his daughter back, so he's forced back into something that he really doesn't want to do.
Will, as my character Harlan likes to call him, is very much in Harlan's sights at all times.
He's almost like Ahab to Moby Dick, where he's obsessed with my character. Sees me perhaps in a much larger version of life than I really deserve as the character.
We lost him on his first morning out. Shit!
Will Montgomery is here to see you.
Send him in.
But once he gets me, and once I leave prison after 8 years, I think you can see that Montgomery's gone through a change, and he's not exactly the same guy.
Please, Tim, I'm running out of time.
I'm not being played by you again, Will.
This film is technically a heist movie. It's actually a relationship movie, and it's really about the characters and how they interact. It's a very emotional story, even though it's got all the pyrotechnics and the roller coaster ride of an action movie. The heist part of it is actually an excuse just for these guys to interact and have an emotional journey between three people, and it could be set in some other work environment. It just happens to be set in a bank robber work environment.
I don't have the money.
What'd I say to you about lying to me?
I'm sorry, I just...
Your daughter's dead.
No, wait! Wait!
You really don't have it, do you?
I'll get you the money.
May I ask how?
But going back to wrong.